Hello, and welcome to Breathworks with Joy. Have you ever attended a yoga class where a teacher has invited you to invoke an intention for that practice? Or at the beginning of a new year, have you ever resolved to create new resolutions or goals? Or perhaps creatively gathered clippings from a magazine or affirmations to make a vision board that inspires you? In yoga, we refer to this process of a heartfelt intention as a Sankalpa. A Sankalpa is derived from our sense of will as it connects to our heart, and it is a concentrated effort that is sustainable and steady. I like to think of a fire, and when I want to create a fire, I have to gather my resources. So I get my newspaper, I get my kindling and my match. I need my fireplace. And then I carefully put these elements together so that I can start my fire. And then I have to gather my wood. And once my kindling is going, I have to strategically place my wood on top. Not so much that it smothers the base, right? But enough space that when I stack my wood on top, that the fire can begin to grow and expand. And ultimately, I get to experience the efforts of creating this fire for my enjoyment. I like to think of the Sankalpa in the same way. How do I gather my resources? What are my resources? My resources may be, what amount of time do I have daily? What space am I working with? And what are my obstacles? What do my obstacles look like? What are my challenges? These are the things that I have to take into consideration so that I can creatively strategize. How do I put these elements together? How do I put what my challenges are with what I am intending? And how do I do that so that I can sustain it? So that I can sustain my practice and show up daily, consistently. So that might look like creating a 10-minute practice every morning. Or maybe it's a 15-minute practice every evening. It depends on your schedule, and it depends on what you're working with, where you're at right now. And knowing that when challenges do arise, just like when building a fire, sometimes it does get smothered or it begins to wane and go, the flame begins to go out. How do I recommit? How do I support that fire? I get back under and I gently blow to reignite the flame. Yeah? How do I recommit to my practice compassionately when my enthusiasm begins to wane, when that inner fire begins to diminish? How do I recommit? Is it through reaching out and asking for help? Is it by attending a yoga class? Is it by maybe modifying what I originally created for myself? And knowing that our practice can show up in a myriad of ways, from doing yoga asanas, postures, to breathing exercises, to sitting still and being with ourselves. Or maybe in how we choose to show up in conversation with others. Or maybe even using our non-dominant hand when we wash our dishes. So allowing that space so that we can be more creative in how we might look at what our practice is, so that we can experience it in a multiple of ways. So I hope this little seed has been of service and I wish you a blessed year. Namaste.